It's a paradoxical kind of fear because I literally think that we are constructing our demise with technology.
Isn't it lovely? Isn't it exciting?
I'm very excited this whole time
How are you containing your excitement?
through meditation and deep breaths and visualization.
So I'm Farah Jouni. I am Lebanese, born and raised in Jeddah. I'm a filmmaker,
Ooh,
producer, currently working in distribution, in film distribution.
exciting.
And it's very amazing to be here in Athar. The vibe.
I agree. But you're based here now.
I'm based in Riyadh now.
Okay.
It's been 3 years I've been here.
Wow.
And I've been to Athar before, and I'm very happy with this edition. And Jax, I feel like it's the natural place for them. Have you been last year? And
No, this is my first time in Riyadh.
it's your first time?
Yeah,
in
first
Riyadh?
time in Saudi Arabia as well.
But you know what's exciting? Because this is very new, like
Mhm.
the podcast truck is just like
So exciting. Well,
a newborn. What's exciting is that we're going to actually see what kind of audiences it will attract.
oh, wow.
You, the first time here, me, the first time doing this. And then I was walking around yesterday and the vibe is fantastic outside. There's a lot of diversity, people from all around.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's like there's an economical movement, whether it's creative or financial or whatever it is. Like you feel like it's actually moving. So tell me.
But I live in Poland, and this is my second time in the Middle East. I was in Dubai before. I hosted a AI film festival there. I mean, like jumping into specifics right away. I can back out like in a moment and give you more context. But I was just saying that it's like I feel the vibe, the energy of the Middle East, and it's very exciting to be here. And I feel that there's so much potential, and everybody sees it, and it's very positive, and there's all this kind of top-down, governmental support of the arts and industry and development, and it's all very present. And it's like, and this whole festival is kind of tapping into that. And I'm from California initially, but I feel it's like, I don't know why, maybe it's just me, but there's like a bigger skepticism in the States, while there's also the tech industry and tech bros, but there's also a simultaneous like skepticism, which comes through comedy, comes through, there's lots of critics but in the divide of cultures and, left and right and this and that. And then here it's, I don't know, I just feel this like unified, like, let's just make the future together. Yes.
Yeah, but we're so young.
Yeah, exactly. And well, even so, from your perspective, it's like, because, and I don't know, I just know a little bit of the history and understanding of, I'm still learning about the Middle East and about Saudi Arabia, but movies just opened back up like 7 years ago. Like cinema, there was no cinema for a long time.
Literally.
So like, that's crazy, because I feel like cinema's dying in the US, and here it's just being born.
Exactly.
So, and that's how you're leading this.
Yes. And that's how that exactly, like, all right. So
Yeah. Now it's your turn.
everything that
Tell me everything.
everything about AI applies on the film video directing industry and the world, in a way that the old needs to adapt to the new, while that doesn't apply here.
Speaking of schools, I'm speaking at the Al Faisal University tomorrow, and I'm leading a hackathon, an AI hackathon, also called a Gen Jam, which is part of this group that's from Los Angeles called Machine Cinema, and they have been doing a very exciting job of educating people everywhere from creative professionals to tech professionals to just regular people who just want to show up and play with the AI tools. But basically, in a few hours, you make an AI film. And so now these are the first two. I'm going to do a Gen Jam tomorrow at Al Faisal University, and then on the 27th, I'm doing another Gen Jam, so this AI hackathon at AUS in Dubai. And yeah, we make a film with a whole bunch of students in just a few hours using AI. So it's very exciting. It's like hands-on. And this is part of this education. So I feel that there's so much interest. And this Al Faisal, they're like, how can we help you? What do you need? Can we do press around this? Can we, do you want all the departments or just a few? And I'm thinking, whoa, this is so much excitement. And they're so eager to help because, we're coming here with education and just insights and like, hey, let's make stuff together. So yes, this is also, I feel that excitement from the academic institutions too.
Yeah. And you know what happens? I mean, for someone like me who started learning film in 2009, and then every time there's an update on Premiere or Final Cut or with a camera, I'm scared and I don't know if I'm going to be able to learn it or not, and how am I going to update my information? But now I have to switch to AI and I'm integrating with it. But those new students who are like fresh and 18 and 20 and 21, there's no fear. They're just excited. And like, let's talk about that integration. Tell me, because like I'm scared. I don't know what am I going to do, if I'm going to have a job or not. How am I going to adapt? How am I going to learn? And then there's those generations that are just going to dive right into it. Where do we start?
So a couple of things that come to mind when you're talking about this, because so you yourself are also moving into this kind of AI space from YouTube to cinema, now kind of a new evolution in your process as a creator. But what you were saying is that, students are getting into this now. Although I had a conversation here, while there is all this top-down support, opportunities, there's workshops, and it's like the industry is like wide open, like come with your talent. Simultaneously, they were saying that there actually isn't so much talent popping up. It's still like you have to incubate the talent. Like there's, for instance, how many, and again, like I'm kind of ignorant when it comes to a lot of things here, but how many like YouTubers, influencers that are making AI cinema or making content that are, the early talents that could move into the film industry here? Are there many of them? Is this booming? You're like nodding your head.
So we don't know. Because, like, we're just, like, so the leaders are, like, the leaders of the industry are still catching up. You know what I mean? Like, like short films, for example, that's where you start looking for talent. That's where you start looking for your next feature film debut director or writer.
Where are the shorts?
So the shorts still don't have AI integrated in them.
Okay, but there are shorts that are being made.
There's a lot of shorts that are being made, and even the market of distribution for those shorts is changing very quickly. I think soon we're gonna stop seeing short films in that format, and we're gonna see it as a vertical film format.
Yes.
Very soon. I think even a student would do that because they would have a better chance of distributing it.
Microdramas.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that will happen soon. But like, I work for one of the best studios, and the oldest studios in the country.
What's it called?
Tilfaz 11 Studios.
Okay.
And until now, I don't receive submissions of AI. I don't know. Where are you guys? Raise your hands. Send me an email if there's anyone doing anything on AI. Wow. But I think universities and schools where those students are interacting is where the experimental work is happening. And I believe that if we start reaching out and talking about it, we're going to start to see those students experimenting, but then you're going to have to teach them how to package it, finish it, turn it into a product of some sort.
It's not that difficult. Maybe tomorrow we start. The AI revolution begins tomorrow at Al Faisal University at the hackathon. Those students will make stuff that'll get to you. I'll say, hey, I know you. And then they're going to go, and I'm going to say, if you make something amazing, it can get to the right people.
Exactly. So by the time this episode comes on air, probably their product will be done, their film will be done.
Okay.
After they meet you tomorrow.
Yes.
And then they can circle back to us.
Yes. So let's be in touch about all of this.
That's amazing.
So, but what about your like personal projects? So you're a producer, but also if you're a director, you're everything.
I'm a filmmaker, and I did the whole stages. I went through all of the stages.
What do you love the most?
What do I love them? The people.
Okay.
The people, the enabling of the talent is what I love the most. I mean,
so it's kind of like a producer mindset.
Yeah, I do have the producer mindset a lot. I mean, I'll direct, and I'll direct when I have the same kind of producer giving me what I give him.
Interesting. I think we're really similar because I've directed my own stuff, but I also see that like I never had the producer that I want to become the producer that I never had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because like I'm not in a hurry to direct. I love the whole industry, and I've dabbled in all the different departments of it, and I enjoyed every single one of them. And now that I matured, I have a strong business side, networking and like connecting things together and making things happen. So I embrace producing. I love distribution. I learned it.
Yeah, and now you're in distribution.
I'm in distribution.
So this is like the main kind of bread and butter. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, but I do produce on the side as an independent filmmaker, and I always look to connect with the talent. I'll do it if I find someone that I believe in and I feel like it's a real voice, a true voice, authentic, and then they have the right attitude towards it, because it does take a certain type of maturity and understanding of who you are and your purpose to be able to produce something that is actually heard.
Produce, direct, create, anything. There's like a kind of a, it's like you need to have done some soul searching in a way, and maybe it's conscious, sometimes it's unconscious, sometimes talent just pops up. But I'm curious also, is Saudi Arabia and the film industry here, are there co-productions with other countries in the region, or is it everybody's? Because in Europe, the co-production model is the way that these films succeed. A film that is a Polish language film could have 3 or 4 different countries supporting it, and then those countries are also calling it their film. Is it similar here?
So this culture is developing.
Okay.
It is a culture, I mean,
the film culture, the cinema. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does happen on a strategic level. There's a lot of cultural treaties being signed. So they are encouraging it. But, it's been 7 years, like you said. So the local funds and the local support and the local rebate programs and all of this is still kicking off. And we have a lot of companies from outside coming to co-produce with us here, bringing the expertise, elevating our experiences, making our work better, because there's a lot of integration between like Saudis and expats and locals, residents to produce something and bring all of the experiences together.
Wow.
Yes.
What's like can you mention like a dream project? How would it work from a production side, like a story side? I know this is a very tough question, but it's like, what's the dream project that you want to eventually make?
Okay. No, I actually, I kind of have an idea, like it all starts with the person, like you find that talent, and then you're like, oh my God, I feel like
this person has something to say.
And then I read it, and then like, oh, it's actually there. And then it's not always the perfect structure of a script, but that's where we come in as producers to create the right development environment, the right development budget, bring the right consultants, script doctors, elevate it, make it better, make it mean something, make it relevant from different angles, socioeconomical perspective, put it in the genre, define the genre properly. If you do this very well, then you move into the production. And then in the production, I feel like we need to be able to integrate all of the local talent, with the necessary experts from abroad, whether it's from the region or if it's from outside the region. And it's not just about, let's bring people with the biggest portfolios and CVs and names and whatnot. Like, match the DNA, match the
sentiments or the aesthetics or the sensibility.
Like, if I talk to you now, I want to bring you in to consult on how to bring in AI on that amazing production of that amazing director. Fine. So let's talk. Let's see if there's chemistry. Let's see if there's real understanding. Let's see if there's an authentic, genuine connection. you know, because a lot of the times someone arrives and then they're doing it for the wrong reason, you know, and
KPIs, ROI, where's the money? You know, those conversations are too often the main conversations. You're like, wait a second, why are we here?
I mean, we'll do that, but after we connect,
Yes.
you know, like, are you feeling the director? Are you feeling the script? Do
Wow.
you feel something? Do you relate to it? You know, yes, we'll bring you in, and then
Okay.
all the money and all the
Step by step. Yeah.
exactly, you know, and then create the right environment when you're producing. Let everyone feel safe, heard, and then be able to face all the challenges, because that's what we do. We face challenges. And then fix everything you couldn't do in production and post. And again,
Fix it in post. Now with AI, the AI edition.
exactly. And there's where the very good opportunity for the director and some of the locals to travel and maybe do it outside, you know, and like see the facilities, not necessarily the big ones, even the small ones where something cooks and it's very interesting, you know. And you know, like, and then you feel like it's a co-production of humans, not a co-production of
Machines, systems.
Exactly.
Wow. I hear you.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, that was so good. So what projects are you working on right now? Like, can you talk about anything that you're doing specifically?
But who's interviewing who?
I don't know. Because I have my camera here.
Curious, aren't you?
Yes, I would like to know all of these things. I mean, I can also ask.
Curious.
So how many Polish or Saudi co-productions are there? And can we start one right now? Can we just figure it out?
Your wish is my command. What kind of script are you looking for?
Oof, wow. How can we make...
What are you looking for?
What am I looking for? These are the questions that I ask, because I'm also shooting a documentary about creativity in this age of AI.
Right.
So, wow, okay, now it's my turn to...
Because if you're looking for something, then maybe I can find it for you.
Well, if you're looking for something, maybe I can find it for you. Who's like more altruistic here? It's like fighting to be altruistic.
So you know what? Now we can say that the first level of this co-production, we can tick it because there's connection. There's connection.
Okay.
There's connection. All right.
Okay, that was a like little smash the potato props we just did there off camera. So wow, yeah. So, but wait, you're answering? What are you looking for? Am I answering?
Yeah, because like, what are you looking for? If you would, I mean, you've been here, you've been talking to people, you've been seeing, I'm sure a lot of, like, we're in Athar, like, there's a lot of creatives here.
Yeah.
And it's a first impression, which is very interesting. If you would look for a kind of story here, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
Well, it's... To answer this question, one thing that I keep hearing is everybody's looking for authentic stories that are about coming from the place. Because, you know, that you can treat a country like a service provider for Hollywood, a service provider for a, you know, like it's just a backdrop for an American romantic comedy in Saudi, you know, but that's not going to be the same thing as a local story. So, but then there's also the outsider's perspective on a place. I'm obviously embodying that coming in here and then asking all the questions, interviewing everybody, even though I should be the one being interviewed, and coming with a camera, you know, putting the lens on everybody else because I want to just hear about this. And this is also what my documentary is about. It's called A Human Future, and it's literally like about people and their stories. And then personally, I'm seeing Africa and the Middle East as so much more exciting. It's like, I'm from California. So many people, they're like, oh, wow, you're from California. What are you doing living in Europe? And why are you in Africa and the Middle East? Because I'm more interested in what's out there. Because it's like, California is a very specific place and I love it. And it's like got the coolest music and movies and weather. And there's so much cool stuff about it. But at the same time, it's like, I got it. I know it. I feel like it's in my bones. And now I'm like, what's out there? Like, you know, even my parents, they came from Poland, leaving communist times for California, for Silicon Valley, for better opportunities. And now I'm like, cool, thanks parents. Like, you did a good job, you know, mission complete for you. And now, like, I'm going to take the baton and now I want to go, you know, that way. Meaning like the places that are more positive, developing. And so now, to answer your question, how do we bring this kind of idea here into this place? Now, is it a stranger, you know, this kind of genre trope, a stranger in a strange land? You know, the stranger comes in, the stranger can be a threat. The stranger can be some kind of messiah. The stranger can be like, so this genre idea, I really like this. And then you can shine a light on a place and see, on one level you see a regional kind of aspect, but then simultaneously you see a human aspect, because obviously, it's like we want to tell human stories, not just local isolated, stories that don't have a bigger appeal. So in this developing co-production that we have here, I think, because again, like maybe we'll find a script, maybe you have a script, maybe I have a script, but it's like something about this, like going into a place and seeing it from the inside.
That POV
Yeah,
of the outsider.
maybe from the outsider. But again, the outsider allows you to look at the inside
Right.
without the local bias in a way.
I
What do
always
you
wonder
think?
who's going to do the Cinema Paradiso of Saudi.
Wow. Like, you mean that movie, Cinema
That
Paradiso?
kind of films, like where you watch, like where you watch the little boy, like playing with the película and like seeing it on a big screen, and
Like Breathless, Truffaut's Breathless also.
yeah, like films like that, like I mean we saw that attempt in a beautiful attempt in one of the Saudi's first theatrical releases,
Okay.
The Book of Sun, for the Goodest brothers, and they did it very well. Like you see that guy in school, that teenager who wants to make a film, and then he goes through all of the comedy and all of the different obstacles until he does, and it's and he's doing it
Good
with
film.
It's a very good film, and it opened, I think, right after COVID, so it didn't take that it's theatrical hit, but it's very well done. And I mean, the Goodest brothers today are one of the very pioneering names in the industry. But because and then also you have the Red Sea Film Festival.
Yes.
And the Red Sea Film Festival is happens every year in Al Balad, Jeddah Historic District, and you have a lot of stars coming from all around the world, mixing with the local filmmakers and the regional industry, in the heart of that old town where kids live with their old families and the little shops and all, and the families of Jeddah, the old Jeddah. And then I wonder, that kid who is 7 and 8, who looks at the red carpet and who looks at the cars opening and the all the stars coming out, and they're looking at this, and that's how I see that film opening. You know what I mean? And then what if one of those people who are attending comes and speaks to that little boy, and you go into the journey of
I'm seeing it. And this reminds me of a film by Satyajit Ray, this Punjabi Indian director from the 50s. And it's just a simple scene, and it's kind of almost even a cliche scene, but it's like a little village boy who is he's wandered off from his home, and he's walking through these fields, and he hears a sound, and he's looking off on the horizon, and there's a smokestack, and he's so excited, and you're feeling the excitement. He's running through the field, it's all tall grass, so you can barely see his head popping out. And then it's a train. It's just a train, and the train zoops by, and there's wind pushing all the leaves, and he's just so amazed at this train. Yeah. And that's civilization for him. He's in this very old. This is 1950s, but I think it was depicting India or the region even earlier. So it's the awe, the excitement of a basic thing, a train. Wow, But at the same time, it's just how you approach it. So you're basically saying this, the stars and the world is coming in, and through a little boy's eyes. Wow, this is
And then 50 years later, this guy is the biggest director, winning an Oscar, or Pound d'Or in Cannes, or the best film at the Red Sea Film Festival, and the Red Sea is 50 years old, and the 50th edition. It's crazy, huh? Wow. But are we gonna write this and do this with AI?
AI is.
Should we?
Well,
if we want to do this film with AI, tell me, what will be the journey now? You lead.
Okay, but it's, again, AI is not, it's the film is the film, and the story is the story, and then we find out what are the tools to create that story, what are the best tools to create that story. So AI can be very helpful with that. I mean, my immediate thinking is AI can do so much, but if you really want to utilize the power of AI, I'm thinking not a live action film. I'm actually thinking more animation style, because AI can be very, very helpful to simplify, the complex workflows of animation. So perhaps this first film, it's our first collaboration. Of course, we're aspirational thinking here. It could be a Polish American Saudi co-production, and AI can be, a selling point, obviously, on many levels, but it's like, we know that it's not about AI because that's just a tool. It's about the human story. Just like Flow. I don't know if you saw Flow, which won the
cat.
Oscar. Yeah, this cats, and the cat. I watched that twice. Silent film, so beautiful. I like shed a little tear. It was so good. I'm like, wow, this is like a great film.
Yeah, I also, I don't want to think about that time where we won't have jobs anymore. So let's not go there. Let's stay
Lots
here.
of people are going there though, and then they're,
Do you want to tell us about filmmaking, the filmmaking future? So I didn't want to go there. Do you want to tell us?
Let's talk about what was possible to make right now.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
so
good point.
breaking it down into the I mean, we are still not in the phase of complete takeover. We are still in the phase of integration. So
Yeah.
I will write better with the help of ChatGPT. How can I integrate my process with it so I can become faster, better, more structured, avoid a lot of mistakes that we cut in the editing room, or then you cringe when you watch it on screen. So tell us a little bit about that. Let's have just give us let's have a one segment about that where you can just tell us how we can make things integrated at this stage
Sure.
in the creative process.
So, okay, like a little context, because what's so interesting is that this industry that's so new here is unfolding. Then it's like every single industry, every civilization, everything has to go through its process. So what's interesting in Hollywood, there's already this kind of concern, fear about what AI is going to do, who is it going to replace. But also it's the evolution of cinema, and it's just always technology gets in and it changes things for better, for worse. And then it's the new tech, and it's just ingrained in the
It happened for
culture.
film,
Exactly.
from film to digital.
Exactly. And so, but here, and then we can go there of agentic filmmaking, where there will literally be somebody just creates a basic prompt, and then a whole film can be created for like literally scenes, edits, lighting choices. Like it could be a sophisticated long prompt. Essentially, you put in a screenplay, and then out comes a movie. There is that future, not so far away. But before we go there, because that's still, it's not quite there yet, but we're getting close. So AI is on every single level. For instance, mood boards. Like when I'm coming up with ideas, I'm listening to music, I'm looking at image references, sometimes watching films or pulling stills out of other films, and like creating a world this way. So AI can be very helpful to already do this. And then again, answering a question of how can AI be helpful at this stage, it's like you can essentially design the whole movie before you make the movie, but you can design it to a point where it's like you're kind of almost already making the movie. Especially if it's animated, you can essentially create early mock-ups that can be used as teasers and marketing materials, that then it's just like a formality to make the movie. It's funny because I remember even saying this when I'm working on my second feature film as a writer, director, part producer as well. But it's kind of a similar process. Like, as you may know, I'm speaking to the choir here. It's like the more you have planned, the more the vision is not just in the head of a director or a writer or something. The more that it's actually like visible on paper and shot lists and mood boards, then the more everybody goes like, oh, okay, this is what we're making. Even though that's probably going to change, it's like helpful to get that to that stage. Well, now with AI, that stage is so much more advanced, because you're basically in the first stages of production when you're already in doing deep development with shot lists, mood boards, character design, all of this.
As a director, this excites me. As a producer, this excites me. As a director, it excites me to be able to put my vision that clearly to communicate it to everybody, to every department. And as a producer, I'm very excited to receive something like that from a director so I can actually do a better job in making the film closer to the director's vision. Fantastic. So what's happening right now is that who is creating that curriculum that will teach what you just said? Because what you just said, anyone who is reading about AI, listening, watching, whatever, everybody who's learning knows that, okay, at this point, you know that you can make your shot list better, your script better, or everybody's attempting at it. But I don't know if I would take 1 month course somewhere, to upgrade my process. Where do I go? I remember when I went to film school, I had the acting class where I go and learn how to deal with actors and actually be in the actor's shoes. I had the post-production class where I went and I learned how to use Premiere and Final Cut and how to have the mindset of an editor and how many clicks you make per decision when you're working as an editor and how to think like one, and then there was the class where we were learning how to deal with the camera and how to light, the curriculum was clear.
Yeah.
Who is creating that curriculum so that all of us can just go and learn that in a month, 2, 3, 1 year, bachelor, master's, I don't know, come back and apply it. Because you know what's happening? The AI is advancing so fast.
Yeah, no.
And nobody's teaching. It's like they have a club where they're just moving ahead with AI and nobody's learning. So that gap.
Some of the also problems that I see here is that they get a little bit of attention because they make some interesting AI projects. It blows up on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and then they are suddenly experts and they're like, I'm going to educate everybody now because I know all about this. And then they turn it into a business and they're making some money, and you have all of these little individual cases. And it's like, this is not how you educate a whole population about AI tools, by doing mini workshops. A lot of people, that's their immediate, it's like a financial gain. Oh, I can gain something because I have insight. Not many people have it. Boom, I'm going to make a workshop. So this is very common in Poland and Europe. And this is how a lot of the early AI adopters are making profits, because they are becoming these isolated little cases of, we can teach the secrets of making AI. So this is a problem for the bigger industry. So with the foundation that I'm forming with a friend in Poland, literally these are the conversations we're having, where it's like, let's not treat this like a business, because that's taking away from the art, the history, the culture. It's like, this is something much bigger that we're trying to do here. And we're making this curriculum. It's not easy, because you basically need a framework before you make an individual curriculum, because the tools are moving so fast.
You are the first student. And then you're learning it, and then you're turning it into a curriculum.
Yes. So for 2 years, I've been making little AI films, speaking on various panels around the world, hosting AI film events. And now with a friend who also went through a very similar process as a cinematographer, he and we teamed up and we're like, let's actually create this framework. And regardless of the tools, because the tools are moving so quickly, it's almost like there's no through line. It's almost like if you didn't start 2 years ago at the beginning of Mid-Journey and image generation, and if you didn't hold on to that and like advance and evolve with it, then you missed out. Like, that was it. If you were on then, you'll understand everything now. But if you get in now, and it's strange, it's like you only look back a year, but it's kind of a lot of work to like look back at a year of progress and tools. And so we're trying to create a framework for those people that don't have to understand every single nuanced tool, but once you get into the framework, then the new tools can fit into it. So again, it's kind of conceptual. We're working on a curriculum. We want to start in a couple of universities in Poland, and then through various collaborations, partnerships with other entities, because usually it starts with individuals. Everything starts with individuals, and they're like, the systems, they don't know what's happening, so they're kind of, at least in Poland, they're ignoring it. But if you have individuals that have a mindset of, let's figure this out, not instantly try to make some money, haha, yes, we're gonna, it's like, no, this is like a real cultural, global, a societal problem. There's new tools. We need cinema people to like be the cultural ambassadors, and we need to know how to communicate with them and educate them. So we're just building this now. We're gonna have our first event, which is also a series of workshops and presentations on December 1st in Poland. These Gen Jams that we're doing are also part of this. Although even a Gen Jam is kind of, as exciting as it is, you make a film in a couple hours. It's not a deep dive. It's not a true curriculum. It's like a scratching the surface just to get your hands dirty, but it's like you need so much more than that. And that's the first step. Like the next step is to like build a curriculum and then share our insights from Poland and from Europe and bring them here. So these things are happening. So we should talk about it some more.
Yes, I mean that's the thing, because like you and I really call, well, like on institutions and people who have institutional mindset to be patient with their return on investment. Like you said, those current experts who are, it's okay, you can go and make quick money out of it.
Yeah.
Great. You're not for each their calling, but those like you who are like actually thinking like we need to invest time and effort and intellect and knowledge and intelligence into developing that kind of curriculum that can be a foundation of something that can actually be distributed and taught for the longer term, and then that should be maintained and usually updated regularly with all of the quick changes that happen. Is it a hamster wheel? Are we ever going to be able to catch up?
It's kind of teaching how to learn.
How to think.
It's
a new way of thinking.
Exactly. And I see a lot of it's like, again, the critic in me, like, there are many people that are advising on AI that I think then and privately when I speak with them, they're very skeptical. And they're skeptical, but they know that they have to advise and speak on at one level. But I also sense that there is a resistance. And then privately, like, I'll hear things like, yeah, but we know this is just like it's like, it's kind of it's hurting us more than it's helping us, but we have to go into it. And I'm like, ooh, that's not the thinking that's going to help this thing become normal. That's not the thinking that helps people to adopt it. And like, because it's just, it's adaptability. It's a flexibility, like a more specific case. And I was at the Ludwigsburg German film school, and it's it's a top-notch global film school, like Hollywood is collaborating with folks there. But I mentioned this because I was at a talk there and I saw a few artists on stage who were showing their workflow, and they've already made some like Snoop Dogg AI music videos, and there was no resistance to the tools, but basically they had 30 tabs open, which can be confusing and chaotic, but it's the ability to move from so many different online tools, sometimes local tools, but also work with so many tools and understand how each tool changes the content, changes a scene, and it's like they're so adaptable, and that adaptability is, I think, the thing that needs to be taught. It's like you have to be so quick. I mean, just like with non-linear editing, so many people that were editing with old school film, they're like, oh wow, I have to now I have to look at more screens and I can move this here and here and here, and it's called non-linear editing because you don't have to think in a linear way. So now it's like, just like our world is becoming more fragmented in so many ways, it's like even the film everywhere, everything everywhere all at once. It's funny because that film, like, it wasn't my favorite film, but it works on a philosophical level about how we see reality now. Like, it's so philosophical because everything is existing all at once, and the new way to make cinema is just like that. You have to have a million different tools that you know how to work with quickly, and you have to be adaptable, and then you can, if you have a vision, the vision will go through all those tools and it'll come out maybe something beautiful. So it's like that idea is what also needs to be given to students and like young folks that will hopefully make big movies one day.
But like now, after what you just said, I felt a little bit safer and better because I felt like we still have time. Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who is that person who would be, I don't know how many people will be able to reach that point where they can actually make a feature film that is not a live action feature film. soon enough, because like the learning curve it's not easy, and it's how many people needs to learn this to actually be able to produce a live action film. And until we reach there, we can't reach there without the institutional learning, the curriculums, the proper teaching on a mass level, so that you can create groups, production units that can actually do that. Or is it going to be a singular effort of that one genius with all these tabs?
Both. It's both, because Darren Aronofsky, like a Hollywood superstar. It's like he started with Pi. Pi is a singular effort. I mean, Christopher Nolan, he made Following. It was a singular effort. It's one guy as the writer, director, producer, editor. So you will have those individuals that just, they're fearless. They're like, I have a vision. I'm going to use everything I have to tell a story. And then they will rise to the top. But you can't expect everybody to, be like that. And so you create systems, and then you create systems to nurture individuals who have that talent, but just need more support to guide them through. And so I think it's like both.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good news, actually.
It's literally both. But at the same time, now is the time for the mavericks who are like, there's no systems yet. Let's just dive into the tools. We got an idea. And that is exciting too, because literally somebody can just be working from their phone, a tiny camera, and that camera can be enough to create like a visual style that you put into the AI tools. You change the style, and I'm waiting for the next like year, 2-3 years. There will be genius films that come from basements with like a kid and 3 of his friends or her friends made something that's going to be groundbreaking. I can't wait.
I have a theory.
Ooh, do tell.
I'm sure I don't know how I came to it. IP will be king.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
IP and distribution.
In vertical video is, moving, and if you have IP and you make in vertical video, then that can spawn a whole bunch of other media. So, but I agree.
Let's get to the human side of it.
It's a paradoxical kind of fear, because I literally think that we are constructing our demise with technology.
That's why I'm asking you, there's a lot of fear because there isn't a place to learn. And if we learn, then we're actually doing something about it. And then, like you feel like you're actually facing it,
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait until we hear the news that, this 1-month workshop is opening and they're teaching you how to come up with your own process of how to integrate with AI as a filmmaker, as a designer, as a chef, I don't know. And then like we're no longer like avoiding this monster and just like looking in the eye and making it our own and realizing that we can actually benefit from it. What do you think?
Yeah, you kind of nailed it, where it's like the fear comes from ignorance, generally, especially when it comes to like the tools that'll enhance creativity. It's like, that is so obvious for me. It's like if there is a creative spark of humanity, it needs to get out, and the tools are all around us. And now there's more tools that are more sophisticated, and even the process is less important than the actual idea, which is also exciting. You don't need to go through a crazy production pipeline that lasts 3 to 6 months or a year. You can actually work with these tools to create something much faster, from the mind of the artist, from the storyteller, out to the minds of the viewers.
Do you think, and this can go off the record, but do you think we can list, I don't know, somewhere in the YouTube there's a place where you list stuff. Do you think we can list a couple, 3, 4, 5, whatever you have in mind, of actual tools that filmmakers can start to dabble with? If we will answer 1 or 2 questions that you have a practical answer in your hand, like, okay, download this app, you're going to find the tutorials on YouTube and start there, for example. Do you think we can list 2, 3, 4 of those?
Yeah.
And become a little practical and this conversation for filmmakers?
Totally. But also it helps to just see films that are made with AI. And then oftentimes the best films, they will have behind the scenes.
But Matthew, there's a lot of clutter online. We don't know where to start. So
I just had a whole talk about this.
Exactly. It's the clutter. And then you don't know what's real and what's phony and who's just selling us like
I know. That's all noise. It's a noise.
So I mean, if
Yes.
like whatever it is that you think, like if you can give me one link or one app or one person to follow, so that a young filmmaker or myself can just like click and look at it and change their algorithm into something useful. Do you think we can do that?
Yes. I mean, should I start naming them now?
Please, let's name them.
Well, it's like, it's funny because it's like such a great business model that they have. And so there is a part of me that thinks it's, they're doing a good thing and they're making a lot of money off of it. But I mean, but it's also, it's how I got started with, AI education. Like I did a lot of my own research, but then Curious Refuge, it was super helpful. Actually, like, it sounded like I was saying something bad about them. They're super helpful. It's
Curious Refuge.
Curious Refuge.
That's an app, or what is it? Or is it a
It's
platform?
a platform. They have it's a YouTube, Instagram account that has regular podcasts, insights, tool updates, educational resources. They were recently bought by a new AI studio called Promise. So it's like part of this whole revolution is in the hands of a few companies, which is like exciting, but also suddenly scary because there's like a, monopoly kind of growing. There's just a few companies that are the leaders of AI and they're all in Los Angeles or, connected with San Francisco, Silicon Valley. But then there's all the Chinese companies. So, but anyways, Curious Refuge, also Machine Cinema. Machine Cinema, I'm collaborating with them on these two hackathons called Gen Jams. Machine Cinema has a weekly talk. Anybody can sign in to listen to a conversation between one of the founders of Machine Cinema and a tool or a company or an artist talking about their process and what they're doing. They also have a really cool podcast. There's a global AI community on WhatsApp. I think now, because we're doing these two Gen Jams in Riyadh and Dubai, and next week in Dubai, we're going to open up a WhatsApp group for the MENA region, and there should be a lot of resources. What's interesting is that the base camp, the main WhatsApp group, has, I think, now over 2,000 people maybe. That whole conversation, at the end of every week or month, it's actually synthesized into a podcast with AI. So you can actually just listen to a shortened version of all the interesting insights from that. Sometimes it's a chaotic, conversation and people are sharing memes. Sometimes it's like, hey, these are the latest tools. This is the latest news. And again, I talked a little bit about this on my talk, but basically it's community. It's obviously there's the educational aspect and you need that, but there's also just the community aspect where you share resources and you can share knowledge and insights. So it's like Discord, they do events, and but I realize it's not here yet. It's not in the Middle East.
I hope we benefit someone. If there's one AI filmmaker who is advanced, there's a film that we need to watch, what do you recommend?
Oh boy. It's like I don't want to name these usual suspects.
We don't know. We probably don't know the usual suspects.
Well, so I want to say, okay. So I'm curating an AI section at the American Film Festival in Poland, and that's going to be November 8th. And so I've basically, worked with the organizers there. There's 8 films. It fills up an hour block, and this guy, he's making Hollywood level films, short films. He's called Kavan the Kid. And he has 2 films out in this series that he's made. It's called Echo Hunter. And it's like, it feels like Hollywood. It feels like big budget. It's, you whatever you say about Hollywood, you love it or leave it, but it's very well done, so well done on a production level. And he's also worked with actors. So it's a hybrid production, which is like the future. And so and we're showing his second film, which is, it's like Echo Hunter 2. Oh my gosh, the name escapes me now, or the subtitle, but it's a 20-minute film. It's available online, and it's so good because it's so well done. It just looks so the technology is there. We're there. And it's at live action as well. It's not animation even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you said the future is hybrid. Tell me a bit about how you see the future, the near future.
Well, so, before when talking about our production, which is a potential animation, but, we can keep all options open still. It's all so, new. The future is hybrid because we want to work with actors. It's like you don't want to just give it all away to AI and like say like, oh, I have an idea and AI will just do everything for me. It's like the emotions come through the actors on the stage or in front of the camera. And that's still like the entry point. That's that point of empathy. It's like a well done scene that's like you just dive into it. And that's with actors. The backgrounds, the lights, it's like all of that can be AI enhanced, AI assisted. Technically you can do like a romantic comedy that has nothing to do with science fiction because the Echo Hunters are very like Blade Runner feeling sci-fi dystopian future. So it almost like fits with AI because it's like you're using AI to make AI future films, but technically you can do a romantic comedy.
I hope we at least keep the acting.
Yeah.
Directing actors.
Yeah. Do you like that part?
It's the favorite part,
Yes.
isn't
Yes.
it?
It's like yeah, it starts there. It's like if you have that connection with the actors, just like you were saying in the beginning, you have to have that connection with whatever collaborators. It's like, although Klaus Kinski and Werner Herzog didn't have a good relationship, and they made beautiful things together.
I was talking about my style.
Okay.
Some people like to.
They like that conflict.
They like to fight.
Yeah.
They like, I don't know.
And from the fight, maybe good things come.
Good things come out.
Yeah, I don't want to fight.
I don't want to fight.
Every day is a fight. Every day it's a battle.
I always say we're making art. We're not responsible for national security. Like relax.
Yeah. Wow. Some people like put it all together. So.
Okay. Sorry. What?
Oh.
Okay, we wrap it up.
Slowly. How long have we been here?
I don't know.
It's still so nice to chat.
Yes, right?
Well, just keep going. Can we?
But honestly, this has been insightful, I think.
This is very nice. You just kind of came out of nowhere and just that fit right in.
It was lovely to meet you.
So amazing to meet you as well.
Good luck on all of your projects.
Same to you.
All right. Good. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Done.
Wow. Thank you so much.